None of us expected what was going to happen in 2020. As for 2021, who knows? The one thing that 2020 did teach us was to be prepared for the unexpected, because things change. Welcome to the last of the Wellness series. I'm Darren, I'm your sailing psych. In this video we're going to focus on three things that you can do in 2021. Number one, be resilient. Number two, be positive. Number three, keep sailing. But before we get on to those things, let's quickly recap. Let's go back over what we've covered in the past videos. The emphasis in those videos was very much on coping. Remember, we had the three legs that supported the wellness stool, which covered things like your physical health, which covered things like your mental health, your emotional well-being, the kinds of thoughts that you have, and the last one being relationships and how important they are, the connection with other people. In this video, we're going to be moving on from coping and focusing very much on preparation. Now, what's the first thing you think of when I say the word prepare? Lists, planning, setting goals. Oh my God, that sounds like school, work. Chill. What I mean by prepare is keep yourself in the best possible shape so that you can handle anything that comes your way. There's an old saying that says, hope for the best and plan for the worst. Like, we all want things to go smoothly and as well as they possibly can be. But if we've got a backup plan, no matter what happens, we won't get caught out as easily. Planning is not the same as worrying. The risk with thinking about things too much is that we can begin to feel worried and anxious. For example, you might be worried about going back to school at the moment. You might be worried about catching up with old friends. You might be worried about losing some of your new friends that you've made. You might be worried about, well, what if there's another lockdown? You get the idea. There's a lot of things you can choose to worry about. These worries or niggles can grow into a big problem if we don't catch them early enough. Remember the emphasis in video number 2 on controlling your focus. So instead of worrying, instead focus on getting yourself in the best shape to cope with whatever comes your way. This idea is called building resilience. And we're going to cover that in a lot more detail. But for now, picture a tree, which I happen to have prepared earlier. And this tree is about to be hit by a really big storm. Hang on. We're sailors. Why are we talking about trees? And here's a boat. This boat's skippered by Betty and Brian. And it's sailing along on a beautiful sunny day, breezy. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a huge dark cloud appears. Betty and Brian, they know the warning signs. They stay cool, calm and relaxed. But an inexperienced crew, if they were sailing this boat, might not notice those warning signs until it's too late. And they'd be sailing along, the gust hits and over she goes. The boat will tip. But because Betty and Brian had been listening to their coaches and paying attention, they knew when the gust hits, all they have to do is be ready. And so they relaxed, and as the gust approached, the boat began to heel over, and as it heeled, they eased their sails, and the boat came back up, and they continued to sail and waited for the worst of the weather to pass, and they were fine. Resilience is a lot like sailing. Prepare, watch for the signs, relax, and you can pretty much cope with most things that come around the corner. It's okay to feel stressed from time to time. Everybody does. It's how you deal with it that counts, and learning that you can deal with it. Resilience is a really big topic. So to help you out, I've put some links at the end of this video which goes into the topic in a lot more detail than I can here. Things like the Kids Helpline website, they're fantastic, lots of resources. But here's a couple of things that you can focus on now when you're thinking about how do I build resilience. Things like having a good, positive attitude, feeling like you belong, having a supportive family, good communication with the people around you, good friendships, and being able to solve problems and overcome challenges. All of these things help to build that ability to withstand the stormy weather that you might encounter ahead. The next time you're faced with a challenge, use it as an opportunity to work on your own resilience. You can do that by asking yourself some questions. For example, if I'm stuck, how can I move forward? Or what do I do to get back on track? I can't control everything, so what can I control? Who can I ask to help me? Can I change something to make things better? And lastly, what can I learn from this? The last one in particular is important because every time you face a challenge, it's an opportunity to grow and build your resilience. What you learn from that is going to build your confidence in your ability to handle things differently in the future. Okay, let's wrap this up with a few things that we're going to take away to remember. Okay, firstly, jump on those niggles and do something about them early. Secondly, you're never alone. Teachers, family, friends, Kids Helpline, all of these are better choices than trying to sort things out on your own. Thirdly, practice having a healthy, happy mind. Keep smiling. Look for things to smile about. And lastly, do things that make you feel better. Summer holidays are coming to an end. Most of you are heading back to school. That doesn't mean to say that you can't still get a lot of fun and enjoyment out of out there sailing programs, which are running through till the end of March, TACAs programs, school sailing. There's so many things happening at your local sailing club. So get down there, stay connected with all of those new friends that you've made, keep sailing and have a great time. Oh, you're still here. Well, seeing as you're here, you might as well listen to one of my favourite Spike Milligan poems. It goes something like this. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then I realised its worth. A single smile just like mine could travel around the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic quick and get the world infected. Keep smiling.